Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I am your host, Jason, and these are the same three ancient spell books that were here last week. Starting in the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have a mustachioed Will playing Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, and his dog Phelan too.
It's a very fancy thing. It's just very hard to talk through.
Oh.
Is it tape?
It's just your face. I thought it was a thing from the camera.
I assumed you were doing the...
I was going to try for a bit with that, but I thought I was trying to do that, but yeah, they've gotten really realistic, haven't they?
Yeah, I was like, that's pretty good.
And in the bottom right, we have Adam playing Gunn, Shough, Human Redeemer of Erastil.
I agree.
Welcome to another episode. Last time our group of intrepid adventurers slayed the mighty Mokmurian, evil wizard supreme extraordinaire, the giant that was behind all of the recent, attacks on Sandpoint and Varizia at large. And you, at the end of the fight, just as he was beginning to try to escape through a cast of his own dimension door, he was halted in place, frozen by some strange green force of energy, and was briefly possessed by what you believe to be the spirit of Karzug, Runelord of Greed. He had some nasty words for you.
He's meanie.
Called you insects or bugs or something along those lines, and left Mokmurian a mangled corpse.
Yeah, he coup de grace him for us.
Yep,
Like...
he had literally 2 HP.
Oh, that would have been so terrible.
Yeah, there was 2 hit points left after I think Asher was the last one to attack him.
Probably.
But after that, you left his corpse in the library for the librarian to clean up, and made your way over to the lecture hall, where you sifted through Mokmurian's various items of import. And found a hand-drawn map, along with some X's on it that seem to be indicators of places of importance. One of which was circled in red, which happened to be the one at Sandpoint, with some notes about something known as the Hellstorm Flume. And I can reread that note for you.
If you would. I've noted what I heard, but it may not be accurate.
Yes, the Hellstorm Flume ruins. Foundation stones from each would know where the traitor Zaliasa dwelt, and perhaps where he hid his key to Runeforge. You've not heard of this Runeforge before. You don't know anything about it. You've not heard of this Zaliasa either. Xaliasa.
Do we have the text of that in Roll20 somewhere?
No. I can. I meant to. I have a little handout here. If you're all. I have a little copy of the handout, but I forgot to make an actual handout in game of it. So memorize it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll put it in Roll20 later.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, just show up at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting points are that there are the
draw
four.
It from memory.
There's the 4 X's along the coast, which you can see.
Well,
Magnemar is down.
We know exactly one more entrance to the underground caverns that's not yet been explored. It's in Sandpoint.
Oh yeah.
Do they think that's actually where Zaliasa, whoever this is, or?
Hid his key to the Runeforge. And
Did
Asher-
the Hunter say dwells or dwelt? Was it present or past?
Where the traitor Zaliasa dwelt.
Okay.
It was
so
past tense.
So it was trying to read
Asher-
past.
found a clue down there as well.
Oh yeah.
Some
ink.
writing that was occurring. Like there's a ghost, or at least some minor spirit
A ghost.
trapped down there.
Yes, I believe you took
That
some notes of what you, at least the symbols that you saw on the walls.
And they were all like hate,
Yeah, it was all wrathful stuff.
violence, anger.
See, I thought it was just like when you go into the bathroom and write on the stall. I didn't even think of like a scary ghost.
But it was
I just
it was
thought so,
appearing and
ugh.
then disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Porque no los dos.
So
I think it was only in that one room, but I didn't actually look in any other rooms.
I think you saw it in a couple of other places.
Okay.
There was the chamber where there was a bunch of floating stuff in it. There was like a weird anti-grav chamber where you found like a wand and a dead crow and some other stuff. That
Well,
had a bunch of
anyway.
that writing.
Okay.
So in any case, so you found these notes. You found a bunch of items. I guess you've taken some time offline to do a bit of identification of those items. I probably should have.
We know what they all are.
100%. No question or doubts.
Yep. So let's see. You have. There was a rune that was on the. So Mogbirian's club you identified as being a +2 spell storing, greater striking club. Those are the 3 runes on it. You found in his bag, you found a large-sized white and gold robe with a bunch of Thessalonian runes all over it. And I believe someone identified that as the robe of the Archmagi, or Archmagi, Archmagus.
yeah, I think I figured
Archmagi.
that
Yeah.
one out.
I don't think Greshy got any of them. It was either Asher or Gunn.
Yeah.
That one's interesting because why did Mockmirian have that? Like, he was a wizard, but he wasn't good. Recently,
Perhaps
Was he
he
good
thought
in
he
the
might be able
past?
to change it.
could be.
Or he stole
He
it from
could-
somebody.
He could have been trying to change its alignment. He could have been formerly of that alignment and turned evil.
For the
That kind of
listeners,
good.
the robe of the Archmagi has. You can find them in different colors. White ones are good aligned, gray ones are neutral, and black ones are evil. And you take penalties if you're wearing the wrong alignment one.
Not only do you take penalties, it doesn't work at all. It just makes
Correct.
you stupefied.
So I'll leave
As long as you
wonder
wear it.
why he had that.
I thought you said he wasn't a good wizard because he like sucked at being a wizard. I didn't realize that it meant he couldn't wear the robe. I was just like, man, Adam.
Good job sucking, Mockmirian.
That too.
No, he's quite a skillful wizard. He is not a.
He was
good
very
aligned
accomplished.
wizard.
What it was is he used to be a good wizard, but everyone kept making fun of him for not being a particularly,
Good
skilled
sorcerer.
wizard. So he turned to the dark side to get that power.
Yeah, not quite.
We're rewriting
That's kind of what that's how I see it. Like he got made fun of for not being a sorcerer and was like, well, I'll show you. I'll get my power from wherever I can.
I'll show you.
Yeah. So you also found
That's what they imagine it sounds like.
twisted
As a child.
darkwood wand that has the engraved symbols of the major elemental planes on it, which you identified as a wand of energy aegis. You also found a scroll, four scrolls, one of which you think is the scroll of sending. What were the other scrolls as identified?
Non-detection, dream council, and dimensional lock.
Okay. And then what else? The goggles you identified as greater crafter's glasses, which are crafter's eyepiece. Same item. And I think that all that left is the ivory rune stones in his bag, which you identified as greater resilient Sahedron runes, which are like the Sahedron medallion, but better. But are runes that you have to apply to armor.
Except, I really don't trust at the moment that wearing those symbols on your person doesn't let Karzug do to you what he just did to Mokmurian. Possess and, like, remote murder you and claim your soul.
I feel like that would have happened to us already.
Fair enough.
I could be told.
The latter part.
Sorry, that if it wasn't on my skin, it would be okay. So the amulet was like touching me.
We lucked out that the one time I actually died, I happened to have taken the medallion off.
That is true.
Like,
you had just placed the
couple of
medallion
minutes prior
on Lamatar Baden's corpse to preserve
his
it.
recorpsed corpse. Well, I've no plans to die anytime soon, so I'm not too worried about it.
So I've taken mine off for now, and maybe I will see if I can get someone to reforge it into a different shape, or to extract the
three concerns I have, and this is not know enough about it to be certain without really doing a proper examination. First is that this is some old stuff here. I don't know how it was crafted offhand. It's possible we may not have the tools to reforge it at all.
Agreed.
Second thing, the magic may no longer function if we go to try and reforge it at all. It might be tied to the shape of the medallion. And the third thing is, do you really want to have anybody touching it? These are probably better off just thrown into a volcano or something.
Touch them with like gloves on, I bet.
Perhaps.
Okay.
I think if you brought it to one of the bigger churches and asked them to investigate the magic on it and see what it can, like, I think there are ways that it could be evaluated for safety.
Oh, sure. And this is all just me spouting off the top of my head. I haven't really done any deep analysis into these things.
Or some of the arcane arts could also do that.
Honestly, I think the arcane might be better.
And in any case, the armor rune is probably the way we want to take this going forward, because then you get your next slot back. Which there's nothing else you can put in the armor resilient rune slot that would like.
Yes, it also gives you an investment slot back because you don't have to invest in the medallion.
Oh yeah.
Aye. So multiple good reasons to try these runes. There's only 2 of them though. Who wants them?
I'll
Give it
hold
to Asher.
one. I figure as long as it's not touching me.
I mean, I've
you guys can
using
body.
it.
I mean, we
I'll
have
just
rune
put it-
stones right now. We have 2 of the greater and 1 regular medallion, I think. Or is it the reverse?
You have one greater
greater
medallion and 2 regular medallions.
Okay.
So the greater medallion is equivalent to the 2 rune stones.
Rune stones we have.
Yeah.
And the rune stones, if you want them to function, you have to actually transfer the rune off the stone into the armor.
I see. Okay. Well, I suppose...
Which you would know would emblazon the rune of the Sahedron on the armor itself.
But not my skin.
Yes, not your skin.
My skin. If the armor gets broken, does that feed in? Is it considered the armor dying? Like if I were to put the Sahedron on a log and then I burned the log.
Well, the log
Ash's
soul wouldn't
thoughts.
be all that valuable
You don't know that log soul is valuable. Well, it's
I guess
a log, I guess it's dead
compared to a
already.
different kind of creature.
While your characters are thinking about it, you do recall that you have some notes. You remember in some of the notes that you've collected over the past few weeks. There was mention somewhere about how the ritual functions, but you'd have to go digging through your own notes to. I'm not going to give you that information.
I just think
To read.
I took it off immediately, and I want some assurance it's safe before I consider using it again.
As far as other stuff you find, like I said, you found a bunch of gold and platinum, as well as a bunch of spell books of Mokmirians, which contain basically all common spells, which you could use to learn any common spell. And you notice that there are some references to entries for some rarer sounding spells, but they all look like they've been ripped out or those pages have been burned. Or otherwise removed.
What a deck.
Okay. Well, I've added all of these items that we found so far to our worksheet, which then also breaks down the total we would get if we sold them all, and then distributed that cash to everyone, and gives people the opportunity to claim things out of there, which would then bring half the price out of your share. Because that's what we would get if we sold it. It's like we get this much of a share, and you can take that share in half price loot or in cash. So that'll be something we'll go back and do probably later, as soon as. And the only thing it needs is for Jason to fill in the value of the actual treasures that we've found to determine what we could get for selling things like the silver idols and the large blue diamond that we found from Longtooth, and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that after.
When we get there, we'll
when you
deal with
get
that.
to a town or something.
Mm-hmm.
But
for now,
yeah. So you guys have spent, I think, about an hour and a half or so identifying these items. Maybe less than that. Maybe it was just an hour.
I think it would have been, well, since Asher took some time to do so as well, it'd be an hour and 14 minutes.
Okay.
Well, no, an hour and 30 minutes. Yes, an hour and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And looking around, I probably had most of that time to look around the room and try to find any other books in here that might be noteworthy, like not written in Thessalonian. Or
you don't find any books in here that are written in Thessalonian. Many of them are written in Elven or Dwarven, Jotun, Common. These all appear to be fairly modern books.
I would probably try to pick out all the ones that I can that I could potentially read and see if there's any titles that catch my eye as potentially having clues.
Give me a perception check.
Sure. Perception. There it is. We have a 21.
Okay. So you take your time through the hour combing through the various books. You find a number which seem to be quite rare and would probably fetch a good amount of cash if sold. Every book you find is just on like obscure arcane theories. You do find one interesting one about necromantic amalgamations and you. And it's about how you can fuse the many corpses of smaller things into creating bigger super creatures, and the theory of how all that works. That's one of the more recently opened books. It's actually up on the there's a little platform with a chair where he's been sitting. It's the large book up here.
I've just watched the live-action version of Full Metal Alchemist, and I know how this ends, and I do not suggest it.
All right.
You find Yeah, just some old books on rune magic in general, and just a lot of tomes on like rare and unknown
Okay.
magic. But it seems like he was just strictly doing magical study here, possibly obsessively.
Okay. Well, a lot of these can probably go in the bag of holding as well. Then I'll gather those up and dump them in.
Okay.
With the other
Yeah,
loose
just tag those as
rare
on
books
magic,
and
yeah.
the one necromancy book. How many rare books? Well, I'll just put like question marks.
Just put rare books, and that's enough for me. I have it as like a bulk price.
Okay,
if you were to
cool,
sell it.
Cool.
Yeah, so after that's done, Asher and Greshy have finished looking over the remaining items they were going to identify. You've packed up all the stuff in this room that you wanted to pack up. What do you guys want to do?
I have a question for Greshy because I can't speak any useful languages here. I don't actually know if he will let us, but I'd like to try and check out at least 2 books from the archives if I can. I don't know how that'll work, but yeah. Would you be open to translating?
I can try, sure. I have no idea.
Whenever we make our way over there.
Well, was there anything else we need to do in here, Gunn?
I can't think of anything. We've looted the room. We've researched anything that might give us more clues.
Once again,
Got 'em.
looting is not the best term for this.
Yeah, well,
What was it? Criminal forfeiture.
Donation.
I'm just trying to think of what to do
knowledge.
Donations to the
next.
church still. We want to talk to Kona and let her know that, well, her
And-
son's dead.
We have 2 or 3 options for doing that. One is to wait until tomorrow. One is to try to sneak past the guards and find her. One is to try and send her a magical message.
We do have that scroll, don't we?
We have the scroll. We have the spell too. If we can get close enough to see her.
Ideally, it would be better to not use that scroll. But
We could fight our way through some minions to find her.
I suppose we could.
You can cut off Mokmurian's head and hold it in front of you and parade it through and go.
We could
"We've
do that.
Killed him, and you all get out of the way.
Asher, that's actually a really good idea.
But that seems like really scary.
A little bit disrespectful
Yeah.
to his mom.
Which is really funny because I was just writing down something to ask.
However,
to be
she
more
did want us
respectful.
to.
Deal with him.
What other trophy could we take other than his head?
I think his head's the only thing to take.
See, I was
Nobody's
gonna
gonna recognize
ask
anything
if
else.
there's anything like family
His spell books or
oriented
his-
or like.
Are they going to
uniquely
recognize
him
his
that
spell
wasn't
books?
His head?
Well, that's it. Well, let's take a look at the body and see
Yeah.
if there's anything distinct. And we can check out those
Like
books
a
while we're at it.
finger.
Assuming the
Okay.
librarian hasn't cleaned them up already.
So I could warp you guys over
Oh, that'd be
there.
great.
You've unlocked fast travel in this dungeon, so
Brilliant.
We've explored the whole thing, so we can just go wee.
Yeah,
So
there were a
that's,
couple of little doors we hadn't gone through yet, but that's about it.
Yeah, as it turns out, most of those are very incidental. There's nothing hidden behind them, so don't fret over it. I'll tell you that just to save you some exploration time.
And we believe him
Sounds
because
good.
he's a kind and generous DM.
You open all the doors, there are little empty rooms. The end.
Yeah, it's either little empty rooms or collapses that you haven't seen.
That's fair.
Okay, so you guys make your way back down the halls over towards Mokmurian's corpse, which is still blocking the door from closing. You see the vault door slide close and then back open, and slide close and then back open.
I have no
Um,
regrets.
You can hear the Clockwork Librarian just in Thessalonian saying, "Oh no, oh dear, what a mess, what a mess, what a mess." as he's kind of you see him float by carrying a stack of books back up to another shelf, making himself busy.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the corpse real quick here, and then I'll go talk to Librarian.
Yeah, does he have like a family photo in his pocket? Is there anything like uniquely him that's not his face?
There is he does have like a massive like neck plate made of gold, or like plated with gold. That is very uniquely his design. It's like signifies him as a ruler. It's that
sounds like
his piece of
In-
necklace armor thing that he's got going on there.
How many bulk would you say he is?
A large corpse. I can find that out for you. It's a lot of bulk, but
Just tell me if it's more than 75.
It's not more than 75. It's 12.
Can we show it in a bag?
We've already established that it won't taint the other things that are in the bag.
I have no idea. But if we're worried about desecrating his corpse, we can just bring the whole damn thing.
Instead of cutting his head off, we just have it sticking out of the bag, like hold the bag up.
Just one hand, like.
We can just take the bag and we can pull his head out, show it off, and put it back in the bag.
We'll just
head in the
put
bag,
out,
but it's
like,
not disconnected that way.
It
well,
definitely would not.
Bury his body.
It would definitely not fit in your bag of holding, Greshy, like the
That's
one
fair.
that you had.
Well, there's the new one.
The new one is a bit bigger, but not. It's still
He's
not
also
quite
a small
giant-sized.
He is a small giant.
Oh, you mean on the through the
He's a
opening?
runt of a giant, if I recall the description.
Yes, but I think that's still not really enough to fit him through without like dismembering him.
I was trying. All right. Well,
Could dismember him, but I don't think we should.
could just take his neck plate. That would probably be.
I think we should take the neck plate.
well, at the very least, here. And Greshy will head into the library to speak to the librarian, gently stepping over corpse as he does so.
Daintily lifting.
Okay, the librarian is kind of levitating around, trying to put books back, but you can get his attention.
Excuse me, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes. Master Greshy. Oh. And it kind of floats back down.
If I was to do you a favor and help clean up in here, would you mind lending Asher over there a couple of your books for a little bit?
Oh, yes. You are allowed to check out a maximum of 5 books at a time, as per regulations.
5 books? All right. Asher, what were you looking for?
Oh, I only had 2 books in mine.
And I'll act as translator.
Original was, I guess, the 2 history of books that we had earlier, and then if you had like history on the Runelords of any kind.
Karzu especially.
I do have a number of Runelord histories. I can try to find some of those. Please hold. And he'll take 10 minutes. Well, the books are all scattered everywhere, so it takes him 10 minutes to find.
Oh, sure.
To appropriate
In the meantime,
books.
me and Phelan are going to push the body into the hallway and out of the library. Let him have that
Sure.
at least.
But he does return with a history of the Runelord. It's a modern history of Thassalon, and which includes the info about the Runelords. And what was the other book? Sorry, that you wanted?
Oh, I was like, oh, that might have been both. I wanted books on the Runelords and then like the earliest history of Thassalon, like the early days.
Yes, he has a book on the Grand Emperor Zin and the founding of Thassalon. Zin
Okay.
Xin. Anywhere I say Zin from now on, just assume it's Xin. This word shows up a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so what was the book again? Just the Grand Emperor Zin
And the founding
Early.
of Thassalon.
Modern history. Yeah, and then there's the modern history of Thassalon as well. That should cover everything, right?
So that's 2 of 5 if we can think of
anything
three
about
others.
anything about Sahedrons, perhaps?
Runes themselves.
Aye. If we can figure out how these necklaces work.
He goes around. He just seeing that you guys are trying to check some things out quickly. He goes and finds just a random small pamphlet on the truth of the Sahedron. And it's like a handful of pages long.
Please tell me this is a conspiracy pamphlet.
No.
That was like something you get in your mailbox.
And please, is it written in Jotun? Because I want Greshy to read this.
No,
This is
it's not
Greshy's
written in
novel.
Jotun. No, all of these books that he's handing you are written in Thessalonian. So
That
this
would make
pamphlet, you
sense,
don't know what it
Maybe we
says.
could ask.
All right.
It's got a big
Maybe
picture
we could
of
ask
the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe we could ask the magic scroll of all-knowing about the Sahedron rune magic
Probably
Next.
tomorrow. Aye.
tomorrow.
That's a good idea. Well, anything else either you can think of as far as books we need?
The history, 2 histories, and this pamphlet. Yay.
Is
Nope. Nothing here.
Yeah, I think these are what I wanted.
aye.
Maybe that atlas or book that was out on the table that Miriam was apparently looking at that
Yeah,
had
we
pictures
read
of the.
Yes.
mountain with the faces.
Locations all around Thassalon. Here you go. He finds the book and brings it over.
So that's 4.
This book has
so
all
we
of
could
the
do
hip and happening spots across the kingdom.
I'll
Well,
make sure to visit some.
That's
Kingdom
important.
is. I guess it's probably the Jotun word kingdom, but it would be the empire in Thessalonian. They don't really have a king.
I think that covers it. I don't have any other ideas off the top of my head.
Well, you're always welcome in the back of the library whenever you wish. I'll be keeping things as tidy as I can. Feel free to come back and increase your learnings at any point.
I will when I can read. Which will be in 2 days' time. In 8 more hours, I'll be able to read. Don't worry. Well, thank you.
And I never learned how to read.
The librarian not
Nice.
really understanding what you're saying. It just kind of sits there and looks. Asher,
Well,
you're carrying the 2 books. As you walk through
3 books and a pamphlet.
3 books in the pamphlet. Okay, so as you're walking through the doorway with the 3 books in the pamphlet, as soon as you pass the threshold of the door, the books rapidly start to age and dissolve. Their pages turn
No.
to fine dust. The spines go limp and just kind of fall apart in your hands.
Let us go
Greshy.
through all that.
Well, I couldn't read
Bring
anyway.
them back in quickly.
Well, they're already
Just put them
dust.
back in.
Just throw the dust
If
into
they
the room and
change-
see what happens.
See if
You
they
can-
Half season.
Give me a reflex save. If you're doing it fast. If you see that
Doing
it's
it
happening and you want to quickly put them back.
The cover
Oh,
starts to disintegrate, and Asher
God.
just tosses it over his shoulder right into Greshy's
Yeah, a 39.
face. God.
Okay, so only a couple of pages managed to disintegrate, and the book it's just like they're just incredibly rapidly aging, and they maybe each lose we'll call it 99 years. They lose 99
Holy
years
crap.
of their life in just like a flash of a few seconds, and just rapidly start to age. But you manage to get them back in. You toss them over to Greshy. Greshy, give me a reflex save.
Catch these books.
I was not expecting this to happen. That is that's a GM roll. That's a 32.
It's a GM roll, but it's a 32. Yeah. You quickly just drop your staff and grab the books before they take any further damage. And once they're back in the room, they stay their aged their new age, but they don't continue to age any further.
Okay. Well, this explains why we didn't see any books in that other room that were from the library.
Looking around, you see the bookshelves and dissolved books all around you that seem to have aged several thousands of years in the hall.
And maybe the
none of it's
librarian
in there.
himself shouldn't leave this room.
I don't think
I
he
agree
wants
with
to.
that. Well, for the time being then, did you want to read these now, Asher?
I can't. I do, but I can't.
Alright.
Cannot
Maybe we'll
read
be able to
them.
come back.
If you give me if I stay here for a whole nother day and all I do is study really, really, really hard, I could spend like another week reading these books.
Mr. Librarian, would you mind putting these aside for us? We're going to be back in a couple of days for them.
I hope
Oh,
so.
yes, most certainly. I will put these on hold for you. Oh, dear. They've taken a great deal of damage in the...
The air outside of the hall of here is very, very dangerous for some reason.
Do not go in there.
You are not supposed to let books be exposed to oxygen for terribly long.
My apologies, I didn't realize that when we were taking them out, so...
Still,
Hopefully
the
not too
preventative
terrible to
measures
wear.
built by the architect should have prevented such an occurrence. How odd.
Right. It's strange. Sure.
Perhaps you
But
should
yeah,
contact
if
the
you'll just put
architect
those on
and
hold.
have him send some maintenance over to address the spells of protection.
Sure. Who's the architect that I should be contacting?
Why, the architect E086, of course.
Of course, I should have known.
Yeah, the door opens.
The door's open. It's like the Amazon robot.
Mm-hmm.
You said the name.
And if
Standing right
E086
next
is
to
not
the door.
alive, please feel free to contact any of his predecessors, or not predecessors, any of his
Successors.
successors or descendants. They should know the magic required in the event of his eligibility.
Well, if it so happens that you happen to have a bloodline of Xiaozhangshi in here someplace, you could put that on hold too. In the meantime, though, we'll be back in a couple of days. That way we can...
There's something to ask the scroll.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll come back and get those books then. Appreciate
And it
it.
scratches his golden eye. Very well. I shall keep these on hold for you. And moves to place them on a table, and then goes back to putting other books and scrolls back up on the shelves.
All right.
All right.
Are you
Well,
cutting his head off or just taking the necklace?
oh, we should just take the necklace.
If you think it's sufficient,
Seems distinct enough. Yeah.
I'll say this. Nobody will doubt that the head of Mokmirian means he's dead. Some may doubt that us carrying around the necklace of Mokmirian means he's dead.
Snuck into his bedroom while he was sleeping without his clothes on. We stole it. We snuck out.
Just saying. There's better proof, but if you really think we want to stick with the necklace, we can do that.
Yeah, the necklace seems good. And if not,
All right.
I'll turn into a bear and bite them.
Depends how you want to do it. Are we gonna walk out and announce Mokmirian is dead? Or are we gonna
I have a question actually, sorry. What if we took his corpse and threw it into that room that makes everything smaller?
Once again, Archer, You are way too smart.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the other
It may
thing
take us a while.
That's
but
brilliant.
I'm going to ask Phelan to start dragging the corpse over so we can shove it in the back.
Okay.
But it's going to stay small, so now we're going to pull it out and they're going to be like, why is Mokmirian so small? We don't remember him being tiny.
Our magic is more powerful, and we've made him smaller.
He was always this small. Now that he's dead, the magic he used to enlarge himself has expired.
There you go.
Second, part 2 question: how will we get through the room without being small?
I'm
So-
going to run.
We're gonna run. Yeah.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Very
which one.
carefully.
All right, Phelan, if you wouldn't mind. It's going to take a bit, I'm sorry.
Oof. He barks and or boofs and starts dragging Mokmirian's body through the hall very slowly,
How many
knocking
things
over
is he
some
damaging?
ancient bookcases in the process.
Oh no.
You said 12 bulk.
Mm-hmm.
How much can you carry with a lifting belt again?
I mean, it's actually not that hard for Phelan to do this. He is also large.
Yeah.
and,
Okay. Fair enough.
Mokmirian's bulk changes as a result. Okay. Yeah, you pass back through the hallway.
Up to 8 bulk.
We don't know what's down there and I don't want to know.
Not quite enough.
I know.
Aye.
Past the Headless
A big
Lord's
old
corpse.
And all the other
Oh,
statues.
Jesus.
Oh, upside. Phelan drops the body and then grabs it again.
Quickly recovers it.
Past
Back
the
through this
stone
thing.
golem. And up to this doorway.
All right. It's a good place to stop. Can you throw his body in there for me?
Phelan awkwardly tries to pull the body around, backs into the hall a little bit, and then using his hind leg, kind of just kicks the body in. As
Works.
it rolls in, there's a bit of magical wavering, and then the body begins to shrink. And is now
Look at that.
human-sized.
Alright, now we just have to remain human-sized.
And get the body.
Well, once we step in and remain human-sized,
now
we'll
it's-
get that body.
Now it's no longer 12 bulk. I
So
can
if you want
heft
to
it
run and
with the
grab it?
lifting belt,
Sure.
Yeah, now it's more like 6 bulk.
which means the lifting belt can lift it as though it were weightless.
Mm-hmm.
So I will run in, activate the lifting belt, and then try to move through.
Sure. Give me an intelligence check, Greshy.
Sure. Intelligence check, Greshy. That's a 6.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Solid roll right there.
Neat.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So sorry, Gunn. What are you doing? You're running in to go grab the body. Give me a
Yeah.
Fortitude save, please.
We're all
I
gonna
will-
become
I will
tiny
do
babies.
that. Right now?
Tiny baby.
I have a
Hey, maybe
42.
not.
Dreams come
Okay.
true.
Yeah. You fully resist the effects. As you stomp into the room or charge into the room, you feel the magic kind of starting to distort your senses. You feel like things are about to get smaller or larger, but you just shake it off quickly, grabbing the body and dragging it out. Or I guess you activated the belt, so you could just kind of throw it over your shoulder
Mm-hmm.
and charge past the trapped point.
All right, come on, Rock. You're next.
Here.
Rock just flies
You're
through.
already
He's
small.
already affected by the spell, so he can't be affected by it again.
Oh, well, that's reassuring a little bit at least. All right, I'm going to mount up on. I'm not going to mount up on Phelan. That would be a mistake.
Squish fail.
Either squish Phelan as he just shrinks underneath me.
Oh no.
Oh no! All right, just gonna sprint for it.
Okay.
Aye,
Go and give me a Fortitude save as you run across.
Sure. How bad could it be? No, I'm going to re-roll that, because that's another 3, and I don't appreciate that. Like, use my hero point.
So it would be a natural 3 for a 24, or...
Yeah.
we do
Hey!
Oh, God, much better. 40.
19 for 40.
Okay, so you make it
Two nat
across safe and
threes in a row.
sound.
Alright. Now it's Phelan's turn, I suppose. Make some room for him.
What if you... Hey, wait. What if you activate his... Well, it's too late now. You've already come across without him. Why didn't you shrink him down first?
Because if he shrinks into nothing, I'd rather not have that happen.
But wouldn't it...
He's still a person.
Well,
He's still going to get affected by
Wouldn't... Yeah, but
Might
wouldn't
not
it...
be a polymorph thing.
it. I don't know. I have no idea what this effect does, beyond make things small.
I would turn into a huge bear, but
And
in
making
character, I
Phelan
shouldn't
smaller
have
than
that.
small is worrying.
All right,
So roll
well,
an intelligence check again, Greshy.
Give me that nat 1. Oh, that's better. 21.
Yes, you don't know anything about it, but you could attempt to recall knowledge or identify magic.
We never did that, did we? That's,
No.
I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, now that you're
Uh,
thinking about it, you realize that you could try to identify the magic.
I really,
to figure out
really
what's in
haven't
it.
looked into it. I don't know anything about it because I haven't figured it out at all. Sure. I imagine it would be Arcana.
maybe if he does get affected, you could use the collar to make him big again?
That would be interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. But anyway, would it be Arcana?
Yeah, it'd be Arcana.
Let's give it a roll here. That's a natural 2 for 20. I have no idea.
It's a very powerful
rolls
effect.
are so
It does
Been a long
seem to
day for
be.
Greshy.
It is a polymorph effect, but beyond that, you're not really sure how to.
I'm going
engage with
to
it.
ask Phelan to close. I'm going to ask Phelan to close his eyes and run towards my voice.
Okay. Phelan closes his
Just
eyes
see
and you
if
start
him
calling
being-
like, "Come here, boy, come here!" And he charges forward. And when
Does
he
he
gets to
make
the
a
other
save?
side, nope. He seems to be fine.
Sure.
Hi.
Try coming across with your eyes closed.
All right.
Just walk towards my voice as best you can.
Okay. I'm gonna close my eyes and do it.
Okay.
What made you think of that?
Honestly, it was the description of you that Jason gave. How you were perceiving the room growing bigger and smaller. Made me think it might have something to do with your eyes.
Hi.
So Asher
Open my
also
eyes.
slowly
When
like
you crossed.
wobbling around the room with his eyes closed, makes it over, bumps into Gunn slightly. I guess Gunn can like hold out his
Was
hand.
that
to...
large?
Ah.
Wait,
Hi.
was that large ogre blind? No. The one we fought here?
Maybe he used
It was
to be
it was all
huge
tattooed,
ogre.
but it wasn't. Like,
May not have used its eyes to see. I don't know. I really don't know how this trap works. I
I'm
just
not gonna look
took a
back
guess.
I'm not gonna look back to check.
Well, you could send Rock to take a look for you, but I don't know if he could
Let's-
tell you.
Let's move back through the.
Wait, but Mokmirian's dead. How can he see? not to throw a wrench into things.
I'm going to move past that. We're leaving.
With his last dying eyesight, he sees the room.
All right. Well,
All right.
not really understanding
I'll-
how that works. The group continues on.
Aye. We'll just pick up
Strange.
Mokmirian, throw him on top of Phelan's back, and keep going.
All right. I'll put Mokmirian in the GM layer, but he's on Phelan's back.
That's fine. All right, and I guess we'll get out of here.
Okay. You guys
Um,
make your way all into
was it
the sort of.
Was it via Songshi to open
The
this door as
airlock.
well?
It
Yes.
was
Okay.
originally. However, from exiting, maybe you don't need to say the name to exit. Does it just open automatically? If not, we'll
You've
say
checked
the name.
the. What's Asher doing?
But certainly not.
Sorry,
touching
I
the
was
door.
using myself as a flashlight to see if I left my light behind.
Oh, I think your
I don't know
light
if I
is
have
actually on.
I think.
Gunn.
Oh,
There we
it's
Oh, okay.
it was under Gunn.
It was on Gunn.
go. Yeah.
Because I was like, where'd it go? No, I was just using my character as a flashlight.
Okay.
Asher's blind though. He can't see. He's human.
Yeah.
It was
as
a little flashlight.
you guys step into the room and close the doors. Or the doors close behind you once you're all in. And then you say the word, or you touch the door. Which do you?
Don't touch the door,
Don't touch.
especially not from.
I don't know. Jason
Close
suggested we touch
quarters.
the door. It sounds like a great idea.
Give the door a kiss.
Say Vio Sangshi.
Okay. You say Via Sangshi, and the doors slowly slide open, kicking up a bit of dust in the process. And once the door opens, you see just around the corner the figure of Kana standing. She was kind of leaned up against the wall, but she stirs and kind of leans herself off the wall and kind of steps over towards you. She sees the body of her son on Phelan's back. And kind of looks at you all with just a solemn look in her eyes and just does a brief nod. So the deed is done then.
In the end, he was slain by the god he worshipped, or the.
Also hit him a
say
bunch.
or should I say the creature?
The ancient lord
Rather
took
than
him
us.
in the end.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't stop it.
No. I knew this was to come. But you have stopped him.
I'm
And
sorry.
It is my son who should have been sorry. The things he did were beyond the pale. There was no hope for him. No redemption. This is the way it must be. She
Well, what
kind of
happens
turns
next?
slightly, and you can see like
For
a
you and your
tear
people?
welling up in her eye. Sorry, what did you just say? What's that?
I said, what's next for you and your people?
I felt his fall the moment his life was snuffed out. The other generals have already started making their moves. The Lamia have retreated. I know not where they go. Their dragons have been slain by our best men. Lokenseer has been captured. He has been defeated, but he is not dead. The prisoners have been...
Are the prisoners? Mm-hmm.
Lokenseer slayed a few of them last night. I was not able to stop him. But most remain. I've taken the liberty of breaking their chains. They are being fed and given some space to rest before we escort them to their homes.
Thank you.
If I might make a suggestion in regards to the escort, perhaps you'd be kind enough to escort us off of the plateau, and then we would be escorting them the rest of the way. In the kindest possible way, giants are not very welcome down there normally, and recent raids have not made it any safer for your people. I see no reason to put anybody in harm's way at the moment.
That is true, but it is our fault that it got this bad. If we must make some sacrifice to make amends, then so be it. But if you wish to escort
Makes you
them
feel
all
any
to
better.
their own... The hell? Sorry, there's sounds of things
We'll be
falling over
returning
outside.
We should be returning that way anyway, ourselves.
Aye, and I
Albeit
bet...
not necessarily right away.
If you bring the prisoner Lokenseer along with you for our people to deal with, that actually might make a decent amount of amends.
It shall be done.
What would you like us to do with your son's body? I know not your rituals off the top of my head as far as burial goes.
I will take him and return him to the earth. He does not deserve it, but it is as the old ways dictate, even for one as villainous as he.
Very well. I don't know if you'll stay this small. Just letting you know.
She looks him over. Another of his tricks. This will pass. In a day's time. She glances over at Rock, who is also smaller than she remembers. Should be the same for your friend there, the feathered one.
That will be convenient. It's actually kind of convenient right now. Peck, peck, peck. But
for some reason, I don't think he appreciates being small right now.
Rock is not very happy
Not
about that. No.
Well,
I mean, if we're underground anyway, come on.
Well, we plan to leave this region as soon as possible. Aside from what folks I will send as escorts back to the lowlands. This is not our home. You may do with Jorgenfist as you see fit.
I appreciate that. Shawanti, you're right. They may not appreciate it too much. I don't take them much for being settling kind, but having a nice place to camp out is needed, and also having safety.
To the Shawanti? Yeah.
Do you think they're going to want to read Left
They
Thessalonian?
can read that. I guess they could learn.
That's true.
That's true. A lot of valuable information could be gained here that could be used to reestablish.
They also might burn the damn thing down.
Oh God, the books.
I mean,
well, they don't know how to get in to the. Oh, we could tell them.
well, if we tell them how to get in and
But
all,
they don't
then
have the library card.
that's true.
Didn't it say like negative things would happen if you didn't have a card?
Well, sure, but that was a million years ago.
Then again, the Shining Child thing still came out. So
The books here are very unstable already. It wouldn't be so shocking if the library collapsed on its own before long, regardless, considering only the one room is left operational and immune to the passage of time.
well, we'll tell them after we've done our own research.
Yeah.
And then we'll let them do with it as they please. I don't think Broderick Quink will appreciate it too much if it burns down, but so it goes. In the meantime, Kona, would you lead us to the prisoners, the released prisoners? I'd like to see who's around and see if I can provide any assistance.
Of course. And she begins to walk into the caverns. They follow.
We walk off the screen and into the night.
Yeah. As you're walking, she kind of appraises you a little bit more of the situation. That those giants who had the giant leaders that were more in Mokmirian's camp have all been either killed or chased off after Kona revealed to everyone that Mokmirian had been slain. The Lamia, like I said, have run off. You you pass by those chambers on the way out. There's nothing.
Could she have just?
Sorry, what?
Could she have just told everyone that he'd been slain, like weeks ago, when he was camped out in the library for days on end anyway? And then by the time he poked his head out, his whole army would have been disrupted. I guess that would have been like a last resort sort of plan, but
I considered doing such a thing, but it was not until the Lamia fled that I had an opportunity to do so. They communicated with my son in ways that I could not. It surely would have been my head.
I see.
And
that makes sense.
My people know the stones like I do. They can feel that disturbance when someone so powerful leaves this plane.
Fair.
You also get the sense that she is maybe a bit of a slave to tradition, and as long as he was their leader, she would have just kept roughly following him. There's a reason why she got you to do the dirty work at the end and hadn't tried to do it herself.
Yep.
Also, it's her son. That's a little awkward.
Yeah, a bit. But yeah, she things are still very, very tense and frayed. Some of the giants have already just up and left. She doesn't know if the clans are going to unite again. Some of the clans are currently leaderless. There's going to be power struggles for some time. This is not an ideal situation, but this is the hand that we were dealt by fate. But yeah, she leads you back through the tunnels. You pass by the area where the Lamia had been. There's a shrine inside to Lamashtu, as well as okay.
Do the giants worship Lamashtu, or how do they feel about that?
Yeah, if you ask Kona, she makes like a kind of distasteful frown. No, that is... They worship Lamashtu. The Lamia worship Lamashtu of their own volition. They were allowed to make their shrine here by my son, but not many other giants are that taken with them. The Lamia were permitted to do as they pleased, but very few agreed with them. They merely had my son's favor.
There were
unknown
three of them?
reasons.
Was that correct?
Yes, there were three. Two twins and the one with red hair.
Could we search this room for anything that might have left behind in their haste to leave that we could use to track them down again?
Something to suggest where they might have gone,
Sure. You spend a few minutes sifting through those chambers. I could actually just move you guys to that map. Where's Le Underfist? Delete.
The other half of Lucretia's dress collection. She's probably the sort of creature that would be her priority to take.
Okay, Theirs are gone too. Okay, let me just copy paste you guys over here. where are you? This map. Drag Control C and Control V. But you're also very giant, so let me shrink you down. We're over here.
We might also need a light.
I think I copied the light over as well.
I mean, I can see just fine.
Oh, you.
Okay, Asher still has his light. Rock is small.
Oh, Greshy, you're so huge.
Well, I'm more concerned about... Look at Phelan.
There we go. Alright, I fixed your sizes. This map has a different scale than the other maps. Okay, so yeah, Kana would lead you guys... Oop, there's your light. There's Rock. There's Phelan. Okay. Lead you guys up here. Northward. Over here. Would get rid of this. There's like a curtain.
Was this where the trolls were?
No, the trolls were
this is
just to the south.
Okay, so this is the...
The Lamia
This is the Lamia lounge.
Yes, this is the Lamia Lounge. It's filled with red
So we're going to
cushions,
name our nightclub that in Magnamar. The Lamia Lounge.
It's filled with like red cushions, red wood-stained red wood-stained tables, each with like large mirrors and some drawers. They're basically vanities. There's 6 vanities in here, and a shrine to Lamashtu, or an altar to Lamashtu at the far end, flanked by 2 ever-burning braziers. You see the visage of the jackal queen, with her bloated, exposed stomach, before you, staring down on you non-believers. You sift through their stuff in the room, looking for anything interesting they might have left behind. Yet, alas, other than makeup, and some hanging garments off to either side of the chamber, it doesn't seem like they left a lot here behind.
The statue of Lamashtu, is it just like a freestanding statue? Did they etch it out of the wall?
It is a freestanding statue that's sitting on top of this altar. Okay.
Ooh, go
With some
Greshy.
effort, you give me an athletics check, I guess. It's pretty
I'll
heavy.
get between it and I'll get between it and the wall if I need to and kind of push with my legs. But let's give it an athletics go.
Yeah, you climb up on top of the.
It's an 18 though.
You try to push it over. You just kind of edge it.
I would
slightly off the. Slightly towards
if you
the
wouldn't
ledge,
mind.
but it's really heavy.
Not quite strong enough.
Watch this display of manliness.
Jesus Christ.
With a 43, Gunn takes both hands and cantilevers it over the edge. It topples and smashes into a bunch of pieces. The black stone gives off like an eerie, dark purple smoke. Just a little bit of mist. It quickly fades away. You swear you heard the howl of a wolf at the same time.
No regrets.
Screaming sounds.
Also, thank you, Gunn. I usually have Phelan to help me out with the strong stuff, but definitely appreciate your strength there.
You'd had it.
Nah, close enough. Well, there's that done. Taken care of. Thank you, Kona. We were kind of hoping to try and track them down later, but I'm a bit worried they may have made off someplace I don't know where.
Mm-hmm.
When they left, did they leave via magical means, or did they straight up just run? Well, slither.
They were in their human guises and left via magical means. They created portals. I'm not sure where to.
There's no way for me to tell after the fact from examining residue of magic, perhaps. Even a direction.
I'm
going to keep asking.
Sure. No, not really.
I could. Doesn't it have a distance requirement? I could.
Well, it depends
go
on the spell.
Sniff around.
If it's a dimension door, it could be up to a mile, I think. If it's a
Mile.
teleport proper, though, that could be.
Yeah, Kona says that this happened over an hour
I'm
ago.
really not sure.
So, because you guys were
Then
doing a bunch of
even
stuff.
the residue would have well faded.
Yeah, post his death. So
That's true. All right, well, they will pop up again, I'm sure. We'll keep an eye out for them, deal with them when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, otherwise you were led up and out of these chambers, past the dragon room, where there's two large dragon, or corpses of the two young dragons that were in here. Back to the kind of central hallway, down to the pit, and up the stairs.
Yeah, I thought we had the same. Oh, he didn't fill his up yet.
No, I just was seeing that you were at 2 of 3 and he's at 188. I was like, oh my.
I'm a healthy lad.
Sure seemed that way.
Cool. So you guys return to the ring. All the way up here.
There we
What
are.
just happened? Cancel that.
And this time without sprinting through the courtyard, probably.
Wait, delete these.
I think that's what we
paste
did the last 2
these.
times we were here.
There we go. Well, but now you're tiny. Fuck. But whatever. It doesn't. This part doesn't really matter, so I'm not sure why I'm doing this. But okay, yeah, you're led out to the surface by Kona, who takes you to. Again, I don't know why I'm doing this, but there you go. Okay, she takes you to the this hall over here, where there is a bear currently, but I'm deleting him. There's no bear in there anymore. Ignore the bear.
Why was there a bear in there?
Bear.
There was a bear in there.
No.
This is the
You-
bear storage.
Yeah,
So
you
really struck the
smell.
bears. Makes sense.
You smell bear. I guess both Asher and Greshy would distinctly smell the strong scent of bear in this room. But you see no bear, in fact.
Smell too.
Instead, you see a large number of villagers who are all currently eating and drinking. They all seem very nervous. Oops, I've pasted them on the wrong layer. Whee. And they're all very small for some reason. They've all succumbed to...
Oh, did Red survive? Hey, look at that.
Yeah,
Yay.
And
at
what's
least-
his name? The
Protected.
angry guy.
yeah, so at one
Wait, is that
table...
Vin Vendor?
At one table, there's a large number of Sandpoint locals. You spot Ven Vendor, you spot Pilbug Potiker, Das Corvut, Risa McGravi, Titus Garnetti is there, just a bunch of rando
Thank
villagers
God
as well.
Titus is here. Our
Titus
favorite.
made it! Aren't you so
They-
happy?
He did it!
He lived!
Yay! Oh.
They didn't capture the sheriff, did they?
The sheriff? I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't see the sheriff here.
Sheriff Hemlock,
For some reason, I thought they had. For some reason, I thought they had captured Sheriff Hemlock.
I didn't think so. I thought all
No.
3 of the major, Ameko and
Yeah, Hemlock
Father
was there at the
Santos
end.
were
Last
fine.
I left Hemlock, he was fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
Hemlock
right,
was there
you're
at the
right.
end.
He helped send us off.
I thought
But-
somebody. I had this idea
He'll
in
be
my head
so
for some reason that
happy.
somebody had disappeared without a trace between
Uh,
when we were playing them and when we finished the encounter.
Not really. I mean,
Guess
Ameko, but you saw Ameko. You saw everybody. but these people were all missing. So, yeah, it's a veritable who's who of all the shopkeepers of Sandpoint. Some of whom your characters would recognize, some you wouldn't. Like, I don't think your characters actually know Titus or Jubrail, nor do they know Risa, who runs a restaurant. But you recognize Van Vender. I think some of you have seen Pillbug Potiker, and Das Corvut's the big, strong guy who runs that armory, that Gunn flex
The
with.
blacksmith
Yeah.
armory.
So upon you all entering the room with Kona, everybody kind of jumps, nervous. They're all kind of scared and a bit emaciated. But as you enter the room, a bit of a cheer erupts from the Sandpoint table. As they all seem to recognize you. Some people start running over. The heroes are here. Das stands up and gives you like a nice like thumbs up. Like, I see you've all made it. Well done, lads. Pillbug is just nervously. He's got like a mug of water and he's just spilling it everywhere. Oh, yay. They've come. We knew you'd save us.
Survived.
They run over and shower you with hugs and
The
kisses
long
and
villagers.
yeah.
Are
the
there
mob
any
of villagers
children
moms
amongst
you.
this crowd?
No, there are no children amongst this crowd.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Well, I would have sent Phelan to try and play with them, but I feel better knowing they weren't captured in the first place. So-
No, these all seem to be adults. They're entirely adults. Most of them human. Many of them. There's mostly humans, a few half-elves, one or two elves, and at the other table there are a number of dwarves, who are all currently like just wearing rags. They all look very worn out.
Dwarves were not from Sandpoint, correct?
Not necessarily. They could
There's
be,
not a
but
lot of dwarves in
in general.
Sandpoint.
That's not dwarven lands. It's not dwarven lands or anything.
Right. My impression was that the dwarves that were running their forge were captives from a different raid or set of raids.
Yeah, it certainly seems like there's a few different raids here. The Sandpoint table is the largest, where it's almost entirely people from Sandpoint. The other table seems to have a mix of people from other towns and villages, and that's where the group of dwarves are huddled up in kind of at one corner of the table, all kind of whispering to each other in hushed tones in Dwarven, trying to sip their water and eat their food.
Greshy's slowly making his way over to these gaggle of dwarves, which I believe is the technical term.
We got I forget, but didn't we get some sort of flare or something that we were going to set off in an emergency to tell Ashwanti that?
Yeah, we have
but would you call this an emergency?
Powder.
No, but it just struck me that that could be a way to let them know that they should come down here.
We didn't get a celebration powder, did we?
No.
We should have been like, oh, what if we do a good job?
Well, I think actually bringing them over may not be a bad idea. Just don't tell them about the library. I don't want them destroying it until we get a chance to at least take a look.
All right.
I don't know that they destroy it necessarily, but I don't think they're quite as keen on the kind of magic and things that Thassalon stood for.
Uh-huh.
So, just in case.
I think I will excuse myself, go outside, and activate that flare.
We get it, you vape.
Okay, yeah. Gunn goes outside to vape, and Greshy is going to go talk to the dwarves. It's a group of 4 dwarves.
That leaves Asher to
And what's Asher up to?
Oh no!
sure is
no.
socialize with all the humans.
Phelan blocks your path.
Over here now.
I think Asher's panicking a little bit.
I don't
Okay,
like being
Asher-
in here.
Asher goes to hide in the corridor, checking out some of the barrels and stuff, ignoring
Ooh,
the
look at these
throng of
barrels.
people who
Ah!
excitedly trying to talk to him. But after a while, they all get kind of hungry and go back to the table to keep eating. There's some whispers about you.
No whispers.
Oh,
No rumors.
he's the
no
quiet
whispers.
one. Oh, I've seen him around town a few times. Wasn't he working at the leather shop? Or the leather workers? I heard he
Oh,
worked
he's
at
so
the lumber
dreamy.
mills. Yeah, you do hear a few of the couple of the older women saying, "Oh, he's cute."
Nope. Absolutely not.
Oh,
I'm gonna go outside.
Go
Asher
outside
steps
before
outside.
Vendor offers you his daughter's hand.
No.
which one? Oh well, the living one, I
The
suppose.
living one, probably.
Vin Vendor actually
What's he
seems
offers
maybe
you, his
like
dead daughter's hand?
Vin Vendor seems like a little bit grumpy. He probably
Only a
didn't-
little today.
yeah, just a little. He's obviously thankful that you guys saved him, but I don't know if he was super like enthralled with you guys in the first place. So he's maybe just a tad bit resentful. Titus Scarnetti and Jubrail Vishki are super. They're very excited when they first greet you all, and you immediately get the sense that both of them are really slimy people. They're trying to worm their way into your graces. Titus is like, fuck. I had a thing in my head of what he would say. Also, why is my blizzard
We
app
definitely,
making
we
sense?
definitely met him.
But yeah, they're all. There's a mix of responses. Most of the common people are.
I think the lumber mill was in Magnamar, not in San.
There were two lumber mills.
No, there was the.
There was the
Lumber
first
mills.
lumber mill. Yeah,
There's a
there was-
reason Asher is so knowledgeable.
I know so much. I got 20s on every lumber mill.
Right.
He twice rolled a 20 recalling knowledge about lumber mills because we went to two different lumber
It was
mills
3
to know about.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
it was 3 times, wasn't it?
times.
Yes, there was the lumber mill where Ven Vender's daughter was murdered, and then that was in Sandpoint. There was a second lumber mill,
Right,
the lumber
okay.
mill of the Seven, where you murdered Justice Ironbriar
Mhm.
and burned the whole thing down.
You say murdered?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a fire. It was an accident.
Yeah, I think
We
he was.
engaged
As I
him.
recall, he was chasing us.
He's
Like,
the one who
it's
didn't
still
escape on his
murder.
own.
We tried to leave.
Counter murder is still murder, right?
No,
Unless
it's
it was
self-defense at that point.
self-defense.
But you don't say that somebody was self-defensed.
Well, it would have been
Killed in
manslaughter.
self-defense, not murdered.
Okay, fine.
He was
in
manslaughter.
self-defense.
He was manslaughtered. Take it up with Abadar.
That's
No,
different legally.
Not even that.
Trust
In
me,
any
I can-
case.
I'm on good sides with Abadar. It's fine.
Let's find a lawyer for this.
Greshy, you come
Hi.
over to these dwarves who are huddled over here in the corner. All four of them are male. They look pretty rugged, but all look very very emaciated and tired, and they look up as you approach. And one of them says in Dwarven, we have you to thank for this, huh?
Me and my allies, my friends, but that was the point.
We should have known
Realized that they
a
had
dwarf was
captured you too. Where are
involved
you
in our
from?
rescue. Couldn't have been any.
Oh, sure, couldn't let all the humans do Ultrathin.
Exactly, son. Exactly.
Well, I can't say I've represented dwarves in quite a while, but still, sorry you were captured for so long.
You're an odd one. You got where's your beard, son? I see a little bit of stubble there, but where's your beard? Where's your strong dwarven beard? You represent your heritage, son.
I'd rather not. My clan didn't appreciate me in the first place, so...
Your clan? But you're obviously strong. You're a hero. I heard you killed 1,000 giants, and that's why we're saved today.
Wasn't 1,000 giants, but we did kill a couple, I suppose.
Well, you at least killed the big one. I'm gonna tell all my family you killed 1,000 giants.
Well, don't let me stop you there. But...
What's your plan anyway?
No, it wasn't that many giants. Gogeltude.
Gogeltude, oh, there's some fine folk. I've done some merchant dealings with them before.
Really now? How are they doing?
Oh, they're doing quite well, actually. They're one of the up-and-coming merchant companies right now. They're doing quite a lot in rubies. They got a lot of good ruby sources somehow.
Interesting choice.
But you're one of them, huh? Where's your clan dagger?
I've long since lost that. It's been a very difficult time out here, trying to save you all.
They all kind of, all four of the dwarves, like, look a little bit shocked. You lost your clan dagger? Lost his clan dagger? Even the giants didn't take away our clan daggers. Says one, jostling the clan dagger at his hilt.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I gave it away.
Gave it away? Gave it away? He gave it away?
To a goblin.
To a goblin? That's preposterous. What kind of dwarf are you?
Well, not a very good one, as it seems. Why do you think I was kicked out of my clan?
Yeah. Kicked out of your clan.
Kicked out of his clan? Kicked out of his clan.
They kicked me out. They asked me to leave. So...
Well, that was obviously a mistake. Surely a good dwarven clan wouldn't get rid of someone as strong as you must be.
Where do you all hail from?
Oh, we hail from Iron Tongue. Have you heard of it?
Iron Tongue? No, not off the top of my head. Can't say I made my way out there.
It's a bit up to the north, near the Kodar Mountains.
Oh, I haven't made that far at all. Is that where the giants captured you?
Yes, we were doing a delivery of supplies to one of the mines. It's when the giants picked us up and took all our stuff and took us. And it wasn't a pretty fight. There were about 20 of us back then. They've been forcing us to do their labor, doing the smithing, and they know the value of dwarven work, even if they hate our guts.
Can't say I blame them. They know what's quality around here. That said, though, you think you're going to make your way back north, then?
Probably. Definitely, says another. What's important right now is that we all get our strength back for the road ahead.
Oh, aye. And do I have a spell available to do that with? No, I don't. That's fine. That's fine. Well, I will pat one of them on the nearest one on the back and pull some. Actually, pull a scroll out, not just a blank scroll, and write a note on it and pass it along. This is actually just if you wouldn't mind giving this to Gogeltude next time you deal with one of their traders. Make sure it gets to me, ma'am.
Yeah, very well. I'll be glad to do that for you. I don't think we caught your name.
Greshy.
Greshy Oldleton. I see.
I go by Ironroot nowadays.
Ah, of course. Kicked out of the family. Of course. Well, if you ever stop by Iron Tongue, I'm sure any of the clans there would be willing to adopt you.
Well, it wouldn't hurt, I suppose, but more importantly, what was your name?
Garsk.
Garsk? Well, if nothing else, I'll make sure to say...
That's Lerith, and that one's Miskran. And that one over there is little... we call him Little Tom, but it's Tomerg.
Alright. Good to meet you all. And so if I'm in Iron Tongue, I'll definitely look you up. I'm not sure we're going to make our way out there. Actually, do you know of any... How long ago were you captured?
They look to each other. We've been underground for quite a while, but I'd venture to say, it's maybe been a couple of months.
Couple of months? Have you noticed before you were captured any strange doings to the north, besides the giants? Any sort of strange magics you were hearing about, or...?
They look to each other and kind of, they kind of huddle and whisper to each other a bit, and kind of all shake their heads, not really... They're, like, trying to piece together any information that they have. Nope, sorry. Afraid not. Suddenly, just one day, there were a bunch of giants. Well, more than usual.
Sure.
Out on all the trade routes and picking people up. Saying a bunch of stuff about gathering the greedy and whatnot.
I mean, you don't strike me as that greedy a bunch. Just proper dwarven greed. That's to be expected.
Well, you haven't seen my wallet, son.
Oh, that's true. They took it, I imagine, so...
That's true. I'll have to get a new one of those.
Oh, speaking of which, and I will set out 5 gold in front of each of them. So you can get your supplies back when you get back to town.
Well, thank you, son. We'll
I don't know if
this
they'll
alone.
recover it from you.
We'll get this back to you. We promise.
Oh, of course.
With interest,
I wouldn't
hopefully.
expect otherwise. Well, ideally. That's generally the right way to do it.
You've saved my business, my company.
Oh, well, glad to be of service, I suppose, if nothing else. Just glad you're alive. A lot of people died.
We're glad we made it too. Gives us a bit of a new outlook on life. One of them is looking at you. You know, I actually kind of like the no-bearded look. Maybe I should try it. You think so? I think it's a little bit weird, don't you think? I think it actually looks kind of manly. It's a bit rugged, a bit bold. It looks a bit heroic, doesn't it? It's very different. I think it's still a bit too weird, but if you guys want to try it, go ahead. I don't give a damn. They start mumbling amongst themselves.
Well, if you do hear any weird magics going on, if you'd send a message to Sandpoint, care of Greshy, I'd appreciate it.
Will do.
But I'll leave you to feasting up a bit here on this whatever soup it is that you're eating. What is this?
It's just some... it's like a simple vegetable
Just
soup.
a very basic broth stew.
Yeah, just
sure.
a very basic stew.
Alright, well, hopefully that helps bring your strength up for the long trek back. Are you going on your own, or are you going to be escorted? Do you know?
They said something about one of the giant fellers escorting us to the, at least across, or near the plains, but we might just make the trek ourselves.
That seems fair. Do us a favor, don't kill any giants until you get back to town. After that, do as you please, but at least give them a chance to get back to their own people too.
Well, in this condition, I don't think we could kill even a single giant right now.
Are you kidding me? And Greshy will slap him on the back. You look like you could take out 12 giants, all on your own.
Maybe in my heyday, but And they all give a hearty laugh.
All right. And Greshy will move on.
Okay. Cool.
And he's just going to come over and kind of just hang out next to Phelan.
Okay.
Be comforted.
So Asher is just waiting outside.
Slipped outside as well.
Yeah, just trying not to... doesn't like the crowd of people or all the attention. Gunn has at this point set up the smoke signal using the correct dies. And it is up in the air. After about... let's see. After about 20 minutes or so, the whole group of Shawanti come flying in. Some on their griffin mounts, some on in their animal forms, and they all land and either transform or hop off their griffins. Oh, it looks like you've... sorry, I'm trying to go find wherever I put their tokens. There they are. Shawanti. They just come land in the courtyard as a group. And Lenali will make her way over. Well, it seems as if the giants have been fleeing. Many of them have already left this land. There's still more outside. Should we do something?
No, we were able to locate Kona, and she has, with Mogmurian gone, defeated, she's taking over, and the giants are moving out. I'd say we give them time to pack up and leave, and then they will leave this place. And so will we. Soon enough.
Well, that is good. I'm impressed with your feats. I thought you...
I know the lowlanders
before, but...
I know the lowlanders have done poorly by your people in the past, but this and this area, this place is not mine to give, but it is yours again.
She kind of holds out her hands. This land belongs to no one. It is everyone's. But thank you for liberating it from their control. This fortress is...
Yeah, you're welcome.
This place is not our home, necessarily. It is a taboo site. We Shawanti have often been told to avoid it. For reasons our ancestors
There
deemed
certainly
important.
There certainly are dangerous magics here. We slew, what was it, a mummy of some sort? Very powerful
Mummy
mummy. And we broke through several ancient magical areas in pursuit of Mogmurian before locating him in the deepest corners of the underground caverns. And well, I wish we could say that we slew him ourselves, but that which he had served took his life in the end.
I see. Playing with powers beyond his ability. Such a thing happens to those who seek power with impunity.
Indeed.
Well, I will inform the main tribe of what has occurred here, and let them know that these lands are safe again from the giant threat.
Yeah, from the giants at least. And the dragon, I suppose.
Yes, you've done us quite a favor, in fact. We've left that tapestry at the hideout, should you need it. Otherwise, we could certainly do trade with it ourselves. Perhaps find a historian who would find it interesting.
I happen to know a historian who would find it very interesting. In the Sandpoint area, if you travel that direction.
Well, I shall...
I think we might be able to take it back with us. But we'll have to see. We might be fairly burdened. We've also... Come inside. Meet our fellows from the town, if you would.
Okay. She seems a little bit hesitant, but you lead her inside to... Oh, I've launched myself into the stratosphere.
And I will
Yeah.
definitely introduce them as they help. These are the Shawanti people. They helped us greatly in our quest to liberate you all.
It's a mix of reactions from the Sandpointians. People like Risa and Das Corvette are... Well, actually, no, it's more like just Risa and a bunch of the random no-name NPCs are eager to come up and like greet them and whatnot. Some of them who know Shawanti will talk to them in Shawanti. But a lot of the other people from Sandpoint are a little bit standoffish, especially considering that most of these Shawanti that you brought don't speak very good common, so they're a bit awkward. Conversation is light, but they will join and eat with them.
I hope that our peoples can become better friends in the future.
Give me a
As
diplomacy
neighbors.
check if you want to try and like facilitate that a bit more.
I sure do.
This would be like spending some time here at the table with them and talking to them about
Yep,
stuff.
we got the glad hand. Nat. Oh,
Oh! I saw
sure
that.
looked like it was going to be a
It
nat 20,
does
but
that though.
we'll take the
Damn digital dice.
39.
Okay, 39.
I should have added my 9 to that. I should have been like, boom, peace.
Okay, it's a bit rough going. You can tell that there's definitely some racial tensions going on here between the Shawanti and the any of the non-Varisian Varisians. But over the course of the meal, people seem to be more happy that these people helped. You kind of smooth things out a little bit. It'll take more than that to undo hundreds of years of systemic racism, but at least for this crowd, you seem to have eased tensions a bit, and they seem to get along.
Sweet.
So I'd say that's like about an hour's worth of meal. Everyone is thankful for food. Still a bit tired and low on energy, but better than they were before. I'm not sure, are you doing anything outside or just chilling?
Yeah, I am a beautiful bird. Because I realized that I have that back and I could see the sky again. So I am up there as my permanent bird for now. Beautiful osprey flying around, looking at things and relaxing in the sky, away from people, and I don't have to eat. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, it's a bit cold up there, but you don't mind. You can see rain or snow clouds like on the horizon. It's getting chillier. It is, what is this? It's Star Day, Neth the 30th. It's second to last day of Neth. How many days are in Neth? There's 31 days in Neth, yes.
I assume 30. There's 31?
Sorry,
That's not right.
Is there November 31st?
This is November,
Neth is November, then it's 30.
No,
Yeah, you're
there's
right.
no
You're
November
right.
31st.
Yeah,
There's
you're right.
November
Yeah,
1st.
sorry. I'm dumb.
Okay. I wasn't sure if their calendar was
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
That's why I was
No.
like,
It's the same. It's the same. So sorry. Yes, Neth is the last day of Neth. It is about to start the next month. Things are getting cold, chilly. As the meal winds down, some of the other giants come over to speak with Kona, who's like arranging transports, basically to various towns based on where people say they're from. She does arrange a group to escort these people back to Sandpoint, but if you would like her not to do that, she can not do that. If you're planning on going with them.
My only concern is just that the giants would find themselves at risk, greater risk, going through human lands to escort them back. But since we did want to take the one prisoner back with us, if they wouldn't mind bringing him along specifically.
Maybe they could escort everyone to as far as the Storval Stairs.
Well, that was my original suggestion, at least. But Locansir, specifically, I don't know how easy it'll be to... We did transport a giant once.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're trying to protect people... I think you're muted, Char?
I'm muted?
Oh, I just couldn't hear you. You said something that looked like...
Oh, I said the other giant was cooperative.
That's true, so...
Kona says
Relatively.
Locansir is not very cooperative.
Yeah.
So let's have the giants bring him back for us. He has a lot to answer for.
Sorry, you want them to bring him to Sandpoint?
Aye.
She shakes her
He
head.
murdered a bunch of people last night. He has crimes to answer for.
If you wish to take him to Sandpoint, you may need to do that on your own. We have him bound for now, but he is very powerful for a giant. We can slay him if you wish, end his life, but that may be, especially with civilians. Even I don't know the extent of his magic. We currently have him tied up
It's
in the
awful
tower.
hard to
if you wish
cast when
speak
you're
with him.
bound and gagged. But... do we wish to speak with him?
We could probably speak with him and then leave him to their justice.
Well, before we do that, Kona, what kind of justice would Locansir face, if any?
She looks at you with the stony gaze and death. His crimes are too great.
Very well. Well, we will talk to him and then you will do as the giants deem appropriate. Your people will take care of your kind. And then we will take ours home. And you may return to your place, your homes in the mountains, in the cold.
He would certainly face the same fate if brought to the human lands.
I thought it might give them some measure of... I don't want to say pleasure, but satisfaction, perhaps? To be able to take care of it on their own, but if we're not certain he could travel that far without great difficulty, then at least being able to tell them that he's been taken care of is enough.
Yeah.
I know humans are very keen on their laws, so
True. Shall we do that tomorrow or tonight?
we could talk to him tonight. I think we should rest, though, before setting off. If not for us, then for the... And Greshy looks over at the dwarves who are still eating and also look terrible.
Mhm.
Give them
Yeah,
time to rest up.
I figured we wouldn't set out before morning.
Mhm.
At the earliest.
Where'd Asher get to?
He was just around here.
Now you're muted, or it just didn't pick up your first couple words.
Am I?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
I'm
It's the
It
second
just-
time that's happened.
Sky.
Yeah.
Weird.
Uh,
I don't know what's happening with that. I've changed nothing.
nothing's different?
I'll just speak louder.
Huh.
See if that helps.
Hopefully he doesn't get too lost up there.
Okay, so Asher is still flying
See.
up above. If you step outside, you can see a shadow of a conure.
All right. Well,
Could just be a random bird.
I'll wave at it questioningly. Can go. Hi, you want to come down here?
Hi. I do the bird version of hi. Ah!
Caw.
Alright, I'll circle down and I'll land on Greshy's. Wait, am I large? I might actually be pretty big.
I think you're medium
Well, if you're in your permanent form,
or small.
Yeah, I think permanent is.
isn't that pest form still, or is that?
Let's look at it. If we can find it.
I forget what rules I gave you for these.
Here's a bunch of them. Creature battle forms fly. Okay, it's battle form. If it is tiny, I'm small. Okay, yeah,
Ah, you could land on my shoulder. You'd be a bit weighty, but not too bad.
landing on your shoulder.
All right. We're gonna go talk to the giant who was killing the prisoners. Do you want to come with?
Ah!
All right. And I'll just step inside
Asher
and
chirps.
One
poke
for
my head
yes,
in.
two for no.
Gunn, let's go talk to him real quick and just get it over with.
Okay, so assuming that you guys are going, Kona will lead you over to the tower where they have him bound up. It's Asher. Asher's still in bird form, sitting on Greshy's shoulder. And yeah, Lokenseer is chained up against the wall. He looks pretty badly beaten and cut up and bruised and bloodied. But you can see before you this massive, thick with triple C's giant with runes etched deep into his skin. Many of which are faintly glowing, some have dimmed out. He's wearing basically just a cloth over his body, and he looks up kind of dimly as you enter the room, and mutters in Yotun, "So, it's you who slayed my lord."
Aye.
He spits onto the ground. Why do you keep me alive?
Do you have a problem with that? I have a few questions for you, I suppose. Do you know where Karzug is?
Who? He
Oh, really?
kind of loses
Irene
his
didn't
head.
bother to share with you the source of his magic.
I don't care what my master's source is. All I know is kill.
Oh, well, you seem like a pleasant sort.
He
Don't suppose you know what the reason for gathering prisoners in the first place was?
He spits in your face. As you're saying that, just a big wad of spit just smacks you right in the bald head.
I flap out of the way a little bit.
Just wipe my face off. You don't seem like you want to be pleasant about this, do you?
I don't have to be pleasant to a dirty dwarf. Kill me if you're gonna kill me and be done with it.
I don't kill giants. I let the giants kill giants. Greshy's gonna leave.
Wait, Greshy. How did it go? What's
Are you
going
following?
on?
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
assume
no.
I know how. I can sort of tell how it went, but
Well, after getting spat in the face.
Greshy, hold on.
Oh, he's walking out, so unless you're following.
I mean, you can grab him
Or
by the
stopping him,
shoulder
I
if
guess.
you want.
Yeah.
I was gonna grab him. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think we can't get anything useful?
I think getting anything useful would require getting him to be cooperative. I don't... We can try to get him to be cooperative. I don't know the right buttons to press. You know I'm not good at
Yeah,
that.
I see that he's not going to be cooperative, but perhaps he can reveal some things without knowing what he's revealing.
Well, if you
Get
feed
him
me
to gloat.
questions, I'll translate it. He may even speak common, I have no idea.
I mean, was he gloating? Was he?
No, he was pissy. I don't know what his relationship with Machmirian was, but he seemed pretty angry that we had killed him. And rather resigned to his fate. He'd also like to kill us, in case you're wondering.
Well, sure.
Along with probably everyone else, but...
I can see you there, he says in Jotun, as you're talking back and forth in common.
I'm well aware. You can shut it. We're talking about you.
Possible he doesn't know anything even about what was happening.
Well, he didn't know anything about Karzug. He didn't seem to care much about where Machmirian got his power. I think he follows whoever's strong and then gets to kill because of it.
Did you ask him about the sacrifices?
I asked him if he knew what the reason was, and then he spat in my face. For gathering people. So,
Okay.
that's about as much as I've gotten so far.
So he's. I'm gonna kind of watch him and see. I'm not sure if he can understand common, but so he's just an animal who kills for pleasure. And I'll keep an eye on to see if, out of the corner of my eye, if he seems to know what I'm saying.
Does he react at all?
Give me a perception check.
Will do.
Ooh. Ooh.
19, 38.
Look at that.
8. Though he seems to be, I mean, he's kind of like barely conscious. You can tell he's like trying to listen, but he didn't seem to
I
react.
said that clearly enough to purposefully that he should be able to.
you didn't seem to react any differently to anything that you said. Like he's obviously listening, but doesn't seem to understand what you're actually saying. You don't get the sense that he understands common at all.
Okay. If you repeated that in Jotun, you could let him know that animals get put down.
I think he's aware of that, and I will do so, though. I'll turn to him and say, so I want you to know that my friend
I
here
should
thinks...
just screech it. Gun.
Asher, that's not what I meant. It's
Fluffs up.
rabid animals. Rabid animals.
Correction. My friend here thinks that you're a rabbit animal and need to be put down because you have no senses and knowledge to actually justify your existence otherwise.
My work here is already done. I did what my master told me, and my death will play a part in that as well.
I have 2 questions for you. First one, what was it your master wanted you to do anyway? Besides be his bitch boy.
Kill the greedy. Take their souls. Brand our kin with the mark of the 7.
Speaking of the mark, do I see it on his skin?
Perception. He's got
Yes.
a lot of runes on his skin.
That's why I was wondering if I saw it.
I'll look as well, because I was just thinking the same thing.
That's a 38 total.
Now, it's probably good enough for... I don't think I could beat that.
Yeah,
Nope.
glancing through all the
On nat 20.
runes, you do notice the Sahedron rune. It's so he's wearing this like I don't know, caveman cloth over,
Mhm.
but it only goes over one of his pecs, I guess, and you can see just poking out on his left. I guess that would be his right pec. There's like, you can just make out the corner of the Sahedron. You can see 3 points with the star,
Excellent.
but it has
I'm
been
going
branded into his
to.
skin.
I'm going to gesture for Gunn to come with me as I walk over
Kona
closer
here as well,
to him.
or no?
Kono waited outside.
Okay. Yep. Well, let's go.
How well bound does he seem to be?
Pretty
And
well
like how
bound.
weak is? Does he seem like he might break out? Okay, because I know
like
that they're saying he wouldn't
bound
make it
in
all the way to
chains.
Sandpoint, but
He looks pretty strong. So if you approach, you'll see him try to flex his muscles and pull. He does so. You hear the sound of some of the screws come loose on his chains that are mounted to the wall, but he doesn't quite manage to pull them off just yet. He does seem to be weakened from his earlier encounter with the other giants.
Okay.
good to know.
So you hear the
Stand
chains
next to
rattle
Greshy.
and strain.
Step up.
Well, how would you feel if I had my friend here take a sword and carve off that Sahedron from your body before we kill you? Then your death is just worthless, just like you are.
Intimidation? That is an attempt to coerce something out of him.
Absolutely. Ooh, not a bad roll. 30 total
30 versus his
on a
wisdom.
natural
Aid.
18.
I could try to aid that.
Well, if you had done so
Sure.
beforehand, perhaps.
You can go ahead and roll now if you want. That's
Oh.
fine.
Okay. I should have thrown my points at that. That's what I should have done.
Have the
Oh,
21 to aid.
20 is a success on an aid, so that'd be a +1, so 31.
Oh.
Wait, that's not correct. That's Rock's modifier.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, you did roll
You
rock.
rolled rock.
What is
Add
Gunn's
8
modifier?
to that?
8 to that. Okay.
It's 23 instead of 15, so 29 total.
29. Okay, not a critical success, so still just a +1.
Close, but not quite.
Okay, so Gunn menacingly standing behind him, and Greshy delivering some threats. His eyes kind of widen a bit.
No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't remove the mark. The mark's too important.
Gunn, draw your sword for me, please.
No, you can't remove it from the flesh. Don't touch it. It must be
Well,
on
if
the
you'd like
flesh.
to
It
tell
must be
something that
perfect.
actually- I will leave it if you give us some information that makes it worth my while to leave it. Else we'll mark it, make it worthless, and then you've done nothing for anybody.
What do you want to know?
Why were you killing the greedy?
Because he said so. Because he told me to. Because it's fun.
And once you've done that, what was the next plan?
There was no next plan. It's just to kill more and more. Loganseer doesn't know
just
of any
gonna keep
other
killing?
plan.
Oh, so... Okay, you are pretty worthless then. Greshy, or Gunn, if you wouldn't mind. He's got a mark right here above his pec. The Sahedron.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind just trying to cut that for me. And before Gunn moves, Greshy will turn to him and say, or Greshy will turn to Loganseer and say, he's going to mar that unless you give me something of worth. Start thinking.
Give you what? I don't know.
I mean, he'll kind of
Does
blubber
seem
there
like
for a bit, but
Yeah. Well, I'll look
Well,
at Gunn. Up to you.
I suggest we tell Kona about it.
They can make the decision. That's fair. I'll turn back to
Well-
Loganseer.
We should try it, but I don't know what would happen if we, like, could there be some, could he die instantly? Could he,
I have no idea. But he specifically didn't want it to be anything
Yes.
other than perfect. So
okay, interesting.
that's why I just wanted you to slice through
Anything other than, okay, that seems, okay, I'll do that. Yes. I will size him up for a strike, and I'll just try to slash right at the mark.
okay, you just cut at the
Just enough
at
to
the
deal
mark
a
of.
little.
Okay, you just kind of nick at the flesh.
Yeah.
Are you trying to like carve it at all, or are you just trying to? Are you just doing a simple slice?
No, I'm just trying to slash across it.
Okay.
Trying to mar it is, I think, the goal, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you easily
Holding
cut
back.
across it. He no. It kind of struggles against the chain some more. Unable to really
Give me
do
that
so
nat
in
20.
this state.
Well,
But yeah, you do.
if nothing else,
cut
Mr.
through the
Loganseer.
Sahedron.
If nothing else, Loganseer, we may have just saved your soul. But doesn't make change the fact that you are worthless. And
He
you're
starts
not
to
going
go
to be
into
doing
just like
anything good here.
a frothy rage. He doesn't seem to even really understand what you're saying. He's just pulling at the chains. Release me! Release me!
All right, let's leave.
Very well. We should probably let Kona know about that right now so they can take care of it before it's a problem.
Yes.
How did it go? Kona says as you step outside.
We learned something potentially important. When you deal with Mokmirian's followers, it seems important to try to remove the mark of the 7 from them. This Sahedron rune.
I see.
Doesn't have to be destroyed, it sounds like. It just needs to be imperfect.
I'm
In some
sure the
manner.
more thoroughly it can be done,
Hmm.
the better.
I shall pass this information along. Runes, I shouldn't.
Also,
be too
Loganseer might be going a bit
surprised.
crazy in there.
We
Seemed
shall
like
have to
he
deal
might-
with him.
Be able to
Right
break
away.
free in a short time.
I shall go gather some others. We shall put him down at once.
All right, we'll wait here.
Okay. Yeah, she goes off
Guards
to
come
go
back.
to get a couple of stone giants. And
Meanwhile, Greshy will turn to Asher to let him know I was never planning to do anything dangerous to him.
What?
Just in case
I can't
Asher was
speak.
wondering. Well, he can speak, but Greshy would still make sure
Oh
he
no,
was aware.
Asher was only upset at the put animals down. comment.
Generally speaking, Asher's got a kinder personality than
My aura is kind.
that seems appropriate. So, wasn't planning to do anything terrible to him.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. So
seems-
Kona goes
Not that you can
away.
understand me, but he seemed kind of shitty.
Kona goes away, grabs two stone giants, comes back. She takes them inside. You hear some jostling, some shouting in Jotun, a scream of pain, and then another scream of pain. And she emerges. We've fully removed the rune from his skin, and he is no more. I will let my kin know that this is how we should dispose of these traitors in the future. We'll also have to go about removing the marks from ourselves. Kona says as she pulls her black shawl down a bit, and you can see where she's been marked as well.
Nice.
This was
It's,
a ritual, a
seems as
rite
though-
of joining his army. To think he had
seems as
intended
though the
to
mark
sacrifice us all.
allows the Runelord, yes, to claim your soul upon your death, if so marked.
Well, we shall seek a way to undo this mark on as many of our people as we can. Thank you for discovering this. Our scouts will help assist the injured citizens back to their hometowns come the morning. I don't know if we decided. Did you wish me to send giants with the group from Sandpoint, or were you planning on escorting them as well?
Only to the edge of the Storval Stars. We can take him the rest of the way.
Are you going with them?
And
To the store?
Oh,
are
we'll
we
be
heading
going
back
with
to
them.
Sandpoint?
But
Okay.
yeah, aye. We'll go with you to the Storval Stairs. I think having the giant escort through there might be good, but beyond there, as I said, I don't want to put your people at risk from reprisal.
Very well. They shall be
Yeah.
set to leave the first thing in
Deserved
the
though,
morning
maybe.
or whenever you're ready. Just let
It'll be
them know.
morning. First thing sounds good.
Okay. And Kona will head off. I will likely not see you again. But should you find yourselves in giant lands, feel free to seek me out.
Might do.
And if you ever need assistance again, send word to us in Sandpoint or Magnamar.
Yes, I shall. Should I ever need your help, I shall seek out the heroes of Varizia. She nods and makes her way somewhere. I don't know where she's going. she ascends.
She just
Ah!
fly through yonder, flying high into the clouds.
Pose and
yeah, T-poses and glides off. All right. Anything else you guys wanted to do this day? Otherwise, let's go ahead and wrap it up for... are you guys just going to sleep out here? Are you...
We don't have the tent tonight, so we'll need to find a place to lodge a bit.
Roost.
yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, Greshy can sleep wherever. He's pretty good at that. He's got a big pillow.
Okay. As it
In
turns
the-
out, there's a room. If you did ask Kona, she'd tell you that there's an empty
with the other
space over here. To the-
Humans
right.
is probably fine.
Either way is fine. Speaking of the other humans, I would want to check and make sure Were any of them marked?
Yes, I was.
Oh,
gonna say
yes.
that too.
They've all been marked. Every single one of the
Fabulous. Branded?
people who... Yep, all of the people who've been slaves here have all been branded. Clearly with some
Grand.
kind of, like,
Well-
hot iron.
I was afraid of that. Alright, well... I will try as gently and kindly as I can, being Greshy, to tell people to do something about it before they die.
Diplomacy.
I'm going to throw all 9 points on this,
Okay, sure.
noting I don't have any more rerolls. Oh, that actually is pretty good. With the 9 points makes it a 33.
33? Okay. Somehow...
To try and convince people to...
Somehow you managed to tell people this in a way that doesn't completely freak them out. They're all, like, not really sure what you could do about it. Tattoo removal is a
we
thing,
can...
but not super common. But
Well, it's not a tattoo. You said it's branded, isn't it?
yeah, it's branded. But branded
so
with ink,
it's gonna
so,
hurt.
Yeah, it'll hurt to remove it, regardless of how they get it removed. But
Hot knife.
no one freaks out. They're all soothed by your words a bit.
It's Phelan. Phelan standing there
Yeah,
as Greshy's going around.
Phelan gives the extra bit of fluffiness that they needed to not panic in this moment.
It's the good boy aura.
They all feel like maybe this is a thing that they can do and will get done eventually when you explain the reasoning. But okay. Otherwise, yeah, you guys make camp here within the fortress. Nothing really happens overnight. You all level up to 13. The day shifts over to... I'm going to update the calendar because I always forget before a session. What's the next month of Pathfinder? I should remember this.
December.
The calendar or something like that.
Oh god, calendars.
Cuthona.
No, that's probably
Cathona.
Yes, Cuthona. Named after Zon Cuthon, the god of S&M.
That's a bad one. That's a bad god. Why are they naming months after bad gods?
You don't really get a choice. So yeah, it is Sunday, Cuthona the 1st, 4707 AR. And you wake up on a chilly morning with a fresh layer of snow on the ground. And that is where we will end the session. Cool. Well done. You survived talking to people. That'll do it, I guess, for this week's Third Action. Like usual, you can find us on youtube.com/thirdaction, twitch.tv/thirdaction. I upload to YouTube whenever I feel like it. And we're on Twitch on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. 8:30. It's 8:30.
8:30.
8:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Jason, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm thinking about 5,000 different things at once, and where we're going next in the plot. So yeah, this is the official beginning of Book 5. We have completed Book 4, which was Fortress of the Stone Giants, a very aptly named book. So yeah, join us next time as we begin our journey into Book 5, which I'm not going to name because it's a little bit spoilery.
Spoilers.
So yeah,
They do that though, don't they?
yeah. See you next week, everybody. Good night. GG.